The biggest thing we talk about is, what we've done in the offseason, and I think it's really shown. And I don't mean by just how we play, but the bond and the things that happen in a game like this, and the things that you're tried and tested to. Guys go down, and guys got to step up. We want to be an offensive line-driven program, and I think we made a big statement tonight that that's where we're headed. And when it comes down to it, it's not a tough decision. A lot of people are going to say, hey, you made some really good decisions, and because you end up getting those things, but it wasn't a tough decision based on who we want to be and who we're going to put our weight on.
Let's go through both those fourth down conversions towards the end. So the first one, I think you're at the 12. What do you think, and why not go for a field goal there?
Well, I mean, again, there's some things involved in that, and your defense is playing the way they are, and we told these guys all year we're going to be aggressive. There's a lot of things we're going to do, and we preached and talked about, and we didn't have an opportunity to do them last year. And that's how you lose trust. Whether it's those guys in us, and it's what we preach every day, and we've talked about it. So it wasn't a real tough decision. It would have been a tougher decision had maybe the defense wasn't playing the way they were, and what you believed in what they could do. So like you said, when we're going to rely on something, we're going to put the ball in some of them guys' hands and run behind some of those big guys, and we're going to go down swinging with them.
So you bleed those 3 timeouts, 4th and goal from the 2. They get the penalty. What made your mind change with that 1 yard?
Well, I kind of had it a little in my mind there. If we were inside, we were the 2-yard line or in. That they're still going to have to go the distance, and I still like the way our defense has been playing. They get the penalty, which there was a no-brainer for me from there. It was just kind of the momentum of things, and it kind of goes by. You're looking out there, and you're looking in the eyes of Mike Warren and Garrett Campbell, and some of those guys, and you just said, hey, if something's going to happen, we're going to ride these horses. And like I said, it wasn't a real tough decision.
What were those guys, or maybe your assistant coaches, saying to you in that moment too? It seems
like there's some mixed emotions, but you know what? The greatest thing is you kind of flip over the defense, and they say, hey, we got your back. Let's go. They were all in. They wanted to do it as well, and it's really the look. And you kind of look out there and you see those guys, and you see Mike Warren, and you see Desmond Ritter, and you see that offensive line looking at you like, come on, coach, what have you been preaching to us? What have you been preaching? And so you're darn right. I'm going to take that and write it.
The reason you took Hayden out pretty early, could you describe?
Well, we had a plan. We were going to go 2 series. Hayden was going to go the first 2 series. Desmond was going to go the next 2 series, and then we were going to kind of bounce around from there and see how things were going. We also prefaced it to Desmond and say, hey, if he goes out there and has 2 series right off the bat where we score twice or something, we're not just going to stick to the plan. We might have to adjust the plan a little bit. And, so I don't want you to think we're lying or not being honest with you. And it just kind of happened the way. It wasn't because Hayden fumbled. It had nothing to do with that. Actually, I'm probably as proud as the way he was here in the locker room, the way he was on the sideline, how he helped Dez, and every time those guys communicated and stayed in the game. Because there's some shots that Dez took that we were real quick ready to go back to Hayden as well. So we're going to need them, and we're going to need both of them, and we're going to continue to work with both of them.
What does this win mean for your program after last year? What does this win mean for your program right now?
Well, a lot of people would say that. Everybody's like, you get some of those text messages, you get some people calling and say, hey, let's make a statement. Let's show the college football. And you know what? I told our guys before the game, I'm not worried about showing college football. I'm not worried about showing people around the country. I'm worried about showing us, the guys in that locker room. The things that they fought for, the things that they've worked for. I want them to show each other what it really means. How they will pick each other up, how they'll handle the adversity. We'll worry about the outside sources and the other people as we continue to go through the season and get ourselves where we want to be. But we had to prove it to ourselves first.
You mentioned the O-line. It looked like the first couple of series they were actually struggling, and then it seemed to shift.
Well,
what changed?
There's some wear and tear down there now. I mean, there's a lot of guys in that box, and there's some things we got to be able to do to loosen that thing up a little bit too. So they're playing some zero coverage, and 8, 9, 10 guys down there. It makes some heavy sledding, and that's why you're so proud of what they did. They didn't come over whining and complaining about, well, there's an extra hat in there, we can't block it. I said, okay, well, Mike will handle him. Let's go mono and mono. Let's get some one-on-ones. And I think that we cramped up and we had to play some other guys. But I think all in all, I think we had the ability to kind of wear some of that out by Mike Warren and some of those guys up front.
Was Mike Warren, was that a cramp when he came out?
No, it was worry. I didn't know. Yeah, something happened in his leg or foot. I don't know. Yeah. All I know is, as I look back up, he's back there on the sidelines with his helmet strapped up, ready to go, and said, I'm good. I want to go.
It looked like more than a cramp. Yeah.
No, it was. We had a lot of guys that cramped, but
yeah.
Mike's wasn't. And that's just who Mike is.
When you saw him with the helmet back on, what did you think?
I said, "Are you sure?" I looked around for a doctor to say, "You sure?" Now, I mean, I love him and all, and I'd put the ball in his hand, and I'll trust him with anything, but I don't want to put him in a bad situation. I've been there before, but he proved it to us.
You talked a lot about the tempo, the Chip Kelly, the offense that people have come to know. Do you feel like it was what you guys expected, a little bit less?
No, it is. It is. I mean, I thought that was our biggest issue. It's not that can we keep up with the tempo, is can we handle the adversity? And I mean, when they're going to get a play, you're going to get a big play, and we didn't do a great job last year when adversity hit of our leadership stepping up and not losing their minds. And so I got to give them a lot of credit. The Cortez Broughtons and the Brian Wrights there defensively that are great leaders for us. That sometimes in those adverse situations, their emotions get the best of them. And I think they did a great job tonight. And we've still got a ways to go to be where we want to be, but it's a great start.
Coach, you get a big win like this. What does it mean for the team looking forward at the schedule?
We don't want to look too far. We kind of have a little bit of a 17-hour rule that we're gonna enjoy this. Winning college football games is not easy. We went through a lot of it last year. It's tough to get on this plane and fly back and get back at 6 a.m. That's why we let them have a little bit of fun in there as long as we possibly could till they wore themselves out. Because you take this road trip, it's going to be hard to celebrate a whole lot. Now we got to get back, and we've got a rivalry game next week, and a game that we probably had almost no business winning last year. And so we got to get ourselves back to work. And there's something we're going to have to handle a little bit different now, and it's what I call some praise. People that maybe around campus or your families that start to tell you guys are really good, and maybe even pat you on the back a couple times. And the reality is we still know we got a long way to go, and they're willing to do it.